We begin with news that the Ministry of Education is tonight reporting that 65% of the nation's secondary school teachers and 75% of the primary school teachers were absent from the classrooms today. Teachers were out in their numbers outside the CPO's office today, leaving many classrooms across the country unmanned. The Education Ministry says while 25% of primary school teachers and 35% of secondary school teachers were on the job, it remains concerned that the majority of teachers have stayed away. In fact, it goes as far as to say that within the first 10 days of the new academic year, teachers led by their union, TTUTA, have taken 3 days away from the children's education. Education Minister Dr. Gopeesingh says it is regrettable that the education of the nation's students has now become collateral damage in the ongoing dispute between TTUTA and the Chief Personnel Officer. He's urging teachers, even as negotiations with TTUTA continue, that they continue to show dedication and commitment to their students. He's also hoping that this situation never recurs. But the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is warning that protests by teachers could worsen if their demands are not met. TTUTA claimed another day of victory, saying 95% of the nation's teachers stayed away from classes today. And while the union says it's pleased that the CPO appears to be cooperating with the union, teachers are still on red alert. Otto Carrington has more.
Out of the classrooms and dressed in their union color burgundy, the nation's teachers marched around the office of the Chief Personnel Officer, Stephanie Lewis, on Friday morning. While many classrooms were empty and many more without teachers, TTUTA was boasting that 95% of the nation's teachers had heeded its call to stay home to rest and reflect on Friday, 20% more than on Thursday. Many of those who stayed home came to the CPO's office as their union officials met for another round of talks. TTUTA negotiating team entered the office just after 10 a.m. for a session which would last well over 5 hours. By this time, more teachers had joined the agitated group. As he exited the CPO's office, TTUTA's chief negotiator, Orville Carrington, told the teachers and the media that the Chief Personnel Officer was now more open to their demands.
We have not reached consensus on those issues, but what we detect, which is very important, is a change in the mood, a slight softening from the normal, dogmatic position that would have normally been adopted.
Teachers have been awaiting salary increases based on the external labor market for more than 2 years now. And TTUTA's president, Ruston Job, insists that teachers are not happy to be away from their classrooms.
When we decide to take action like this, it is with bleeding hearts.
Of course.
Yes, bleeding hearts. We reluctantly leave our classrooms because we are being pushed.
He has, however, put teachers on high alert in the event that TTUTA's demands are not met.
Go back to your schools, talk to your teachers, and tell them we are on red alert. And get ready for anything.
I am Otto Carrington reporting for CNT3 News.